guys remember, my investment model is what? 40-40 what? 40-40-20, right? So in this model, what we would do is we would do a capital raise, let's take an example of $10 million. In the capital raise, what we would do with this LLC that's going to become the private placement is we would say, here's $10 million, we're going to do it at $25,000 shares, and it's up to 400 shares will represent the $10 million. Pretty simple so far, right? Okay. Now, there's a combination. Within the private placement, I can say, however, 1 unit represents 2 shares. So a minimum of 1 unit has to be purchased. You guys with me? So in other words, the investor has to come in with 50,000, they get 2 shares. You can also do partial shares, but I wouldn't recommend you do that very often unless it's something you know very well. Okay? Because now they're getting a half of a share. Alright? So 400 shares of 25,000 represents $10 million. So I'm going to show you some terms and some of the things that we do so that you can get some ideas of what you're doing when you're doing deals. Okay? Now, the reality is at the 506 level, you have actual costs associated with raising the money and managing the money. There's 2 costs. Remember that. Raising the money and managing the money. So management, who's responsible for putting all this together, staying within compliance, and then operating your investment, has to dilute the $10 million investment to a degree in order to perform at the standard that is required for the investors to receive a return. You guys with me? I'm trying to be as simple as I can. Alright? So, what we would do in this scenario, and I'll put this in blue, is we would dilute the number's still 10 million, but we would dilute the value of the shares by 10%. And we would take that principal, how much is that, guys, on the $10 million? 1 million, right? So we take 1 million would go towards the actual management. It's still owed. It's still principal owed. But it's now diluted and put into a pot that is used to pay for the operating expenses to run this particular mini fund. Okay? Any questions so far? Pretty simple.